Hi guys, we'll see if I can prove this to be true or not, but today will hopefully be a very short and fast sales training. I've been asked quite a bit lately, how do you close people? How do you get someone to close? And we've gone over this a few hundred times, but I want to take a slightly different tack. The way you get somebody to close isn't necessarily a closing technique. It isn't a step, it isn't a stage. You can just ask for it. I believe in all those things. All those you've been taught. But I want to give you another element. It is absolute, complete, bottom line, core of your soul, confidence, belief inside you that you have the greatest product. It is the absolute knowledge that you know you've got the stuff. And I'm going to give you an example because part of what led to this was people asking advice about hiring salespeople, etc. Forgive me, I'm very cold. And you hire a new salesperson, assuming you didn't get unlucky and hire a dud. And what do? They come in and they're excited and they get on fire. And they get a couple going, then all of a sudden, boom, they blow up. They tear it up. They're killing it. I mean, they are selling. You know why? Because the way you got to hire them was they read in you. They wanted some of what you had. They came, they interviewed, and they were like, my gosh, this guy, this gal, they've got a product. Look how much he believes in it. I want to be part of that company. I want to be part of them. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. They're going to be super. So they come and they take the job and they join you. And then they get in, and what happens the very first day is a little nervous, a little doubt, a little fear, a little insecurity. I'm going to fail. I'm going to make it. How's it going to go? And you stay with them, and you train them, and they start believing, and they end up not being a dud. And by the way, quite often, what makes somebody a success or a dud isn't as much who and what they were as how they choose to react at this moment. What are the influences you can't control? Either way, they start getting pumped, they start believing, and they start passing that young, raw belief excitement off to clients, and they start believing. And then they're in long enough to see some of their clients start to move forward and be happy, and they start going, yeah, my gosh, it was all true. This is the greatest thing ever. And then they start seeing the success stories of the clients you saw before coming in, and they're happy, and they're talking good, and they came out so great, and they made so much money, and it's, oh my gosh, and just how can you not believe in this product? And they're going home excited with them, telling the husband, telling the wife, man, this is so neat. It's incredible what we do for people. And when they do a presentation, it's just they walk in the door like, my gosh, this opportunity. It's just that energy's there. The body language is there. Everything flowing from them is just so boom. And they sign a few, and then theirs close, and theirs get going. And it's just positive. Belief. And boom, they're selling at a level you never could. You're like, how did this happen? And then, to hold with what I'm saying, all of a sudden, pow, they hit that wall. And it just, like a bird flying into the window. Plap. Wish I was a good mime. Sorry, I thought that was cute. And one of their deals goes bad. One of the clients that they were so excited and they loved and they rode through, kicked in the fanny. One of them falls apart at the bank. One of them gets upset here. One of them had a tragedy there. One of them demands a refund and there's no refund to happen. And it's just whap. And now all the things that were good don't matter. Because let me ask you a question. Your significant other kisses you every morning, kisses you every night, tells you they love you, calls 20 times a day to say, I love you. And once during the day, you felt they hurt your feelings. How many positives does it take to overcome that one unintentional negative? So the salesperson probably has all the same positives going, just didn't deal with or run into or personally live any of the negatives. They were never there knocking them down. And now they don't see the positives. They're not there. They got mud in their eye. And when somebody walks in the door, what they walk in with, the power, the energy is, hope this works for you, but there's a strong chance you're going to get screwed. And their sales goes, Red Baron knocking down the Sopwith Camel. Wasn't that the name of Snoopy's Doghouse? Which, by the way, was also a World War I airplane. I know that, I just don't know if I said it right. Sorry. A little off track, but you want to try to keep your facts straight. So what do? How do you close? What do you sell? You get belief. You get confidence. I watched a show on TV recently. Great show, by the way. Again, probably shouldn't advise it because it might be a little dirty for some people, but it was called Billions. And it had a couple actors I love, and the actress I really think is genius too. There's a brilliant movie about this self-made multi-billionaire Bobby Axelrod, and the DA wants to get him all this. The thing that fascinated me is they have this high pressure, high-end stockbroker firm. And he keeps this incredibly competent psychiatrist on staff whose only job is to bring them in and fluff them up. Listen to their negatives, listen to their fears, tell them why that's stupid, why that's crap, why they're incredible, why they're awesome. Make them eat and swallow and digest and relive their positives and their successes so that they're always and going and blowing and cranking. So you want to be a closer? You want to be your best salesperson in the world, or you want one of yours to be the greatest salesperson ever? Protect them from the negatives. Feed them the positives, and make them a walking ball of absolute confidence that what I am selling is the greatest, best, most powerful, amazing thing in the history of the universe. And if you're a one-man shop and you have to eat all the Brussels sprouts as well as all the macaroni and cheese, learn to give yourself the time, the meditative state, whatever it is that works for you, to get the negatives through and let the positives rise. Don't eat the negatives when you wake up in the morning, and don't eat them when you go to bed. Take them through the day. But when you wake in the morning, feed the positives. Remind yourself your victories. And when you go to bed, feed the positives. Remind yourself the victories. If you are a religious person, in all sincerity, my greatest advice when you go to bed, say your prayers and say them truly and intently and in communicating with your higher power. For me, it's Jesus. And for me, I start with my fears and I start with my negatives, but you know how I end? The praise and the positives. Thank you, God, for the blessing you gave. Thank you, God, that even though I'm scared, and even though I'm hurting, even though I'm worried, I know you are in control. I know you have the greater plan. I know you have the greater path. And I'm going to praise and sing and take the positives and set them out. So that is what goes with my head to bed at night. That's when I wake up in the morning, the first words off my mouth or out of my mind are, thank you, God, for a beautiful morning. It's a joy to walk with you today. That's my advice for the best way to do it. But figure out the path it is for you, because the system places and works either way. And please don't think I'm saying that God is a system. I hope you understand what I mean. So, end result, own it, know it, deep in. Hope that was fast. Thank you guys for listening.